Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're drilling down into, well, a really persistent puzzle in Indian development, why some states, rocket ahead while others seem kind of stark year after year.
Right.
And today, we're going to contrast the southern powerhouse, Tamil Nadu TN, with states like Madhya Pradesh, MP, and Assam in the center and east.
Okay.
Our mission here is to sort of cut through the usual noise and really pinpoint the core institutional engines, maybe the hidden mechanics, that explain why TN just consistently nails these high human capital outcomes, while MP and, similar states seem structurally held back.
And to do that, we need a clear framework, right? Because developmental success, it isn't just about spending cash.
Yeah.
It really hinges on three key things. You need the political will, the mandate for welfare, you need sustained investment in human capital. And this is critical, you need high state capacity.
State capacity. Okay, I want to pause on that. It can sound a bit academic, maybe like a fancier way of saying less corruption. Why is it its own pillar?
Well, because capacity isn't just about how big your bureaucracy is or, the budget size. It's really about the quality of governance.
Okay.
The, let's say, administrative muscle to actually execute policies effectively, making sure that rupee allocated in the capital actually translates into real services in the village. That difference is absolutely key here.
Right, execution. Got it. Okay, let's ground this in some numbers then. Tamil Nadu, it's operating on a totally different level, isn't it?
It really is. It's a high Human Development Index state, scored 0.723 in 2022. And sources call its social progress very high.
And it's not new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This was fascinating, the longevity. Between 1990 and 2019, TN climbed from 12th to 7th in HDI rankings. That shows real, sustained structural change.
Meanwhile, MP and Assam
still stuck in the medium HDI category. Now, sure, states like MP might be called frontrunners now in the NTI-IOG SDG index.
Right, I saw that.
But you have to remember, that's progress from a really low base. It's relative to their own past, not closing the huge absolute gap with PN. That gap is still immense.
Okay, so that sustained success in TN, it can't be accidental. It must point to some deep political commitment, right? Where do the sources trace that back to?
Directly back to the Dravidian movement. That movement forged a political identity really centered on social justice, redistribution, creating this powerful mandate. It basically forced regional parties, whoever was in power, to compete by actually delivering universal social welfare, not just talking about it.
And that led to some pioneering policies.
Absolutely. Think about this. TN was the very first state in India to bring in the midday meal scheme, way back in 1955.
55. That's decades ahead of most places.
Decades. That wasn't just a policy. It was, institutional vision. It boosted school enrollment, nutrition, and laid the groundwork for the skilled workforce they have today.
And that links directly to their economy now.
It pays off massively. TN is India's most industrialized state. Services and manufacturing, they drive almost all the growth. And they did something smart. They dispersed industrial policy. They didn't just focus on Chennai. They built industrial corridors in every single district.
Every district. Wow.
Yeah, leveraging their high urbanization, about 48%, and that large skilled talent pool to spread the growth around.
Okay, let's flip to Madhya Pradesh. The contrast is stark.
Very stark. MP is still heavily reliant on agriculture. It's nearly 45% of the economy and employs something like 60% of the workforce.
And urbanization is much lower.
Yeah, around 29%.
Yeah.
That naturally makes it harder to diversify the economy, keeps prosperity sort of clustered or limited.
Okay, but here's the kicker. Here's the paradox that honestly should surprise you, the listener.
Go on.
Fiscally, MP seems to be trying harder. States like MP often allocate a significantly higher chunk of their state GDP to social sectors, sometimes over 8%.
Compared to TN.
Compared to TN, which is closer to 5%, maybe 5.7%. So the money, or at least the intention to allocate it, seems to be there in MP. But the results aren't.
And that is the smoking gun for state capacity failure. The spending volume is high, but it just dissipates. Poor execution leakage.
Leakage? What does that look like? Like corruption or?
It can be corruption, but it's often just profound inefficiency. Think about it like this. MP might score rank 1 on some quality of expenditure metric because, say, it budgeted correctly for a fleet of delivery trucks. The allocation looks good on paper.
Okay.
But weak institutions mean those trucks are maybe broken down, stuck somewhere, drivers aren't trained, or the goods are diverted. The system can't deliver.
So like the public distribution system, the PDS?
Historically, yes. Major issues there. The money is budgeted for food rations, but poor execution means it doesn't reach the people it's meant for. Or schools get built, but there are no teachers or they don't show up.
So the high spending in MP is just ineffective? It's trapped by weak governance?
Severely constrained. Trapped in a low-performance equilibrium, exactly.
Which makes TN's success look like this self-propelling virtuous cycle.
Precisely. Political commitment fuels human capital investment. That creates a skilled workforce, fueling economic diversification.
Which then generates the tax revenue.
The fiscal capacity to sustain and improve that high-quality welfare delivery. It's a system built for execution, built to work.
So the big takeaway here isn't just about how much money is spent.
Not primarily, no. It's about the efficiency, the institutional muscle that gets that money effectively to the ground.
Right.
And that leaves us with a pretty challenging question for you, the listener, to chew on.
Okay.
If states like MP are spending a high proportion on social sectors, maybe even scoring well on certain budget metrics, but still lag so far behind in actual human development, well, how do we need to fundamentally rethink how we measure real institutional effectiveness and accountability? What does good governance truly look like on the ground?